So self-advocating is something that can be quite confusing because many people don't actually know what that is. But when it comes to the MS community, advocating for yourself can be very important. Ashley, do you feel like you've ever had to advocate for yourself?
Absolutely, I have had to self advocate for myself. I think only recently, in the last couple of months, I've been able to find my voice and have confidence to speak up and push for the right answers to my questions. I recently just had an experience where I felt like I was potentially having a relapse. So I presented myself in the emergency at the hospital, and there was some challenges I faced. They told me I was able to go home and pick everything up from the next day. And then I spoke to my MS nurse, and she kind of thought, "You're not having a relapse. Just monitor the symptoms." But they progressively got worse, and then I ended up going to the hospital and kind of pushing for, I guess, a treatment or someone to look into what is happening just in case it is turning into a relapse.
Based off of this story that you just shared, what have you learned about how to approach your doctor, especially imagining that your doctor would not be open to hearing your views or your opinions?
I've actually been super lucky to have an abundant amount of resources in terms of friends being medical professionals and in different fields, and they know what type of questions to ask. But in preparation for every type of appointment, I literally write questions. And this is from, what are my current symptoms? What were they beforehand? What's the difference? So I think it's really important to prepare yourself.
So self-advocating for me has also been in terms of with my friends, because many of them were like, oh, MS is nothing and you're just making it up and so on. So really like standing up for myself and showing them that this is something serious that I'm enduring. And then the other way with professionals would have been that it took a long time for me to get diagnosed. So the first times I would go to the doctor with these weird symptoms, and being young and being naive, I would be like, well, the doctor knows best, right? So I would just like go back home, still feeling that weird symptom, but thinking like, it's nothing. Until at some point, the symptom was really, really bad. And I really had to go to the doctor, and I realized that, okay, I'm not going to tone it down. I'm going to be extra serious about this for them to actually take me seriously. And thanks to that, I managed to get my diagnosis. So from that experience, I learned that when talking to medical professionals, not stigmatizing medical professionals in any way, but just the way it is, that the conversation should be a little bit more on the serious tone than on the light tone.
Absolutely. And I think, like, definitely being someone who's obviously diagnosed with MS, you need to be super direct with your medical team, because if I leave the situation with a level of ambiguity, that means none of my questions are answered and I just feel lost, and I have to keep going back to the same doctor and stuff.
And one important thing to remember, as you learn to live with multiple sclerosis, you realize that your energy is precious. So think about the fact that a trip to the doctor is actually going to be consuming some of your energy. So you want to make those trips as efficient as possible. Just don't make them a waste of energy or time.
If you're interested in finding out more about MS, why not subscribe for more of our videos?